Today is a bad day for Dower. Investors need to take a big leap of faith that the millennials and later generations will forego ownership of a synthetic and opt instead for reliance on orthodox substitutes.
Starting off with the one that's gathered the most hype since announced. Wanted Dead, as you can see, is a third-person shooter, hack and slasher also by some of the folks at Team Ninja, who then back worked on Sinuous game and said to be coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles sometime next year.
I know that your schedule is super busy these days, but maybe you'd care to listen.
Another quick one over here, guys. Microids, French publishers, just announced UFO robot Grandizer from the anime series of almost 40 years ago and described as an action game that's coming to consoles and PCs sometime in 2023. Check this out.
Top story, Old Detroit. Crime has escalated to new heights. Authorities are overwhelmed.
We have RoboCop Rogue City by Nacon in the making, acting as a follow-up to the franchise but with a brand new story on the first 3 RoboCop films that goes all the way back to 30 years ago, and an adventure game at heart. This one's gonna all plats and PCs, of course, sometime in 2023. I highly doubt if any one of you is actually familiar with this one or even close to this, simply because there's actually been no update regarding it since it was actually announced. But Blind Descent is a multiplayer open world survival game where up to 4 players can go online and play together on the planet Mars, 50 years into the future from now. Check this out, this game is coming to PCs only mid to late next year. Probably the oldest game to have been announced, technically speaking though, in this video, goes by the name Lost Soul Aside from all the way back 5 years ago with actually just a kind of copyrighted trailer. Here, once again, from only a couple months ago with 18 more minutes of gameplay. This action game, kind of even Souls-like to an extent, is targeting as of this moment the PlayStation 4 and 5 in addition to PCs mid to late next year. Check this out.
"你到哪儿都这么不受欢迎吗？"
is a loaded gun.
Go ahead, make my day.
X-Killer, on the other hand, which is an action retro-futuristic adventure and into a western setting for better or worse, is now actually on its way to PCs with a Steam page where you can actually wishlist the game, only and a release window of mid to late 2022. In any case, this game was announced only a few months ago, and this is what they came up with.
Sometimes I kill for money. Sometimes I kill for justice.
Your next target, Johnny the Wireman, wanted alive, picked up. Last seen somewhere in Jacob's Town area. Bounty hunter, kill him. He's not going anywhere. Bounty hunting is a hell of a business.
Action adventures. If you do like how those two sound together, and the concept of a 4-player co-op, you might as well just go and add Blight No Man's Land to your list right now. A medieval co-op, as I mentioned, survival horror adventure game built using Unreal Engine 5. The only problem with it is that we don't know when the game is actually coming out, possibly next year, and into the PCs only. Check out Nightingale, a crafting game, first-person shooter, but like also a crafting game. So it's quite different from the usual stuff that came our way for the past few decades, and not a bad one at all, per se. Take a look. Like, in terms of its actual gameplay, there's a lot of building here, and also surviving, and also first-person shooting. Check it out. This game's coming to PCs only with a vague release window of 2022.
Every portal is a chance for salvation. Uniting the lost survivors. Or leading us deeper into this nightmare.
Now, y'all already know about Black Myth Wukong, right? It's a Souls-like AAA, one of the biggest games in the making out of China. Well, there was another Souls-like Devil May Cry-ish Nier Automata mishmash of hack and slash and AAA scaled project in the making going by DT or Project DT. Now, this game is only targeting next generation consoles in addition to PCs, and a release date for it is yet to be announced, so keep it in mind. A quick mention, y'all. The Indiana Jones games that was announced last year, well, in case you're wondering, is in its very early stages of development, according to Bethesda. So let's see, before we could actually have hands on this thing or even actually get a glimpse of it, we're gonna have to wait for at least a year, meaning this game could go up to 2023 or even 4. So with that said, we're just gonna have to get back to this one when we do get a real update. Until then, just keep it in mind.
There is no way to hide. Kings, barons, queens. We give them different names, but they're all the same. Killing machines falling from the sky. This is our home.
Now there's another game in this list to be so, but if you do like the concept of a free-to-play game, do make sure to check out Arc Raiders, a co-op shooter, what y'all might be familiar with as a battle royale set in a sci-fi post-apocalyptic universe with this raid-based battle system, I've been led to believe. Check this out. This game's due out to the next generation platforms and PCs sometime next year.
Scout ahead.
Right there. Shit! Too many of them. Fall back now. Look out!
Wilderness, or as it's originally titled, Outlet Z, which is in Polish. It's a Polish world. Outlet Z is a survival thriller about this dude who's suddenly thrown into the wilderness after a plane crash. This game is an open world, well, like I mentioned, survival craft game, and it is targeting PCs, possibly the past generation of consoles as well, and due out sometime between mid to late next year. Check this out in case you've missed it. I've actually mentioned Shadow of Conspiracy Section 2, well, just a little while ago. But just in case you've missed it somehow, it's actually a really good one. Definitely one of the interesting ones is a third-person shooter out of an indie developer and being developed using Unreal Engine, with the premise of being an open-world, narrative-driven game. It's kinda crazy. Now check this out, Shadow of Conspiracy is at the moment in its really early stages of development, but set to be coming to the next generation of consoles and PCs only. Check this out. On the other hand, we have Leshi, a single-player hack-and-slasher with a storyline inspired by Slavic mythology and with a lot of robots, like it's actually the year 2040, in which you do play as Leshi, which is a mythological demon whose task is to guard and defend the nature, and also fight bosses, so it's part Souls-like, I would assume. Which I know, this game is coming to PCs possibly late next year.
Hey! Go! Go! Come on!
Now, even though it's actually been months since it was announced, I'm still not pretty sure whether if it's gameplay we're looking at over here or not, but nonetheless, we have here an atmospheric horror game as it appears in the making, going by Carnival Hunt. What's interesting is that this game is actually a multiplayer game in which you take one of two sides and be the survivalist or the hunter. I've been led to believe it's coming out of a really good developer and it's coming to PCs only at the moment, well, sometime possibly next year. Check this out. Y'all remember Destroy All Human games, right? That kinda let you eat people's brains? But we have another alien protagonist game in the making, and just the same, an open world survival multiplayer game, though going by the name Drake's Odds Survive. Only he doesn't eat brains, instead he takes controls of his enemies, which are basically people, in order to survive our planet. So, like, yeah, take a look. This game is coming to PCs only early to mid next year. I think Aftermath was actually one of the surprise announcements of 2021 that made quite the noise last month when it was revealed. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi survival horror semi-open world game, in case you're wondering. I've been led to believe, well, not a linear game, and into the PCs and basically all consoles except the Nintendo Switch sometime next year, and this is actually how it looks like.
Let's get this going.
Now, most of you probably at some point last year heard about Co-op, specifically if you were a fighting game fan. If not, well, it's alright, it's what was described as a free-to-play and next-generation exclusive fighting game at the moment. Actually, nothing much is known about other than the trailers they came up with and the fact that it is at its mid to late development stage, so take a look.
Ancient secrets lie to the groundwork of our tragedy.
We do have a Souls-like game, it's no joke guys, AAA project in the making out of Italy going by the name Galileo Project. Now this is its announcement trailer and it comes with no release date, no platforms, no nothing. Just check this out, it's kind of weird.
You'll be my last verse.
And last but not least, we have an open world RPG game in the making going by Corsair's Legacy. It was a pirate and about 5 centuries into the past from this minute. This game's actually a life simulation partly, another part history-based, kind of educational game with a lot of combat overseas. Check this out. The game's available to be wishlisted only on Steam and due out sometime next year.